had the public option, but we don't.
But
so
nobody could. But no one wanted to vote on the public option.
Yeah, they went against it. Like, how many times was it? Like 80-something times.
Yeah,
I
mean, a lot of people said that would be that would not work. That we don't want public option. We
stopped him.
Yeah,
they stopped
everything.
He tried.
But
he tried.
Whoever's fault it was. I mean, point being, it's
but what do you mean?
And plus, he was dealing with the Congress of no. So they were dealing with the Congress of no.
Oh, no. Congress was disgusting. And that's why their approval rating is like 9% right now.
Right.
Deservedly so.
But then why is Obama getting all this flack for it when, like, he tried to do that? I mean, we have something because he did something, you know?
And I understand Obamacare is not, and the reason why they call it Obamacare is because that way you put the stigma on him,
right?
Instead of
it's called the Affordable Care Act,
but it's his. You know, but the thing is, the problem with them coming together and making this Obamacare is not the greatest. I mean, but why can't we put something together? I mean, why couldn't these guys come together and put together a plan? Because that's what I'm saying. We should have. We're a superpower. We should have great health care in this country.
And we don't care. They don't care.
The Republicans hate health care.
Republicans hate anything.
Why? They hate health care. I mean, because they've made it clear. What is the purpose of the whole idea of health insurance is that we all pitch in and healthy people take care of sick people. Because guess what happens in the world, guys? We all fucking get sick. Because we're humans. And you get old and you fucking die. That's how all this ends. We die. Hate to break it. I know some people. Hey,
not even a spoiler alert.
You can pray all you want. You're gonna fucking die. I hate to break it to you. You
but
fucking
you know what?
die.
But the thing is, poor people, we got to pray because that's what we got. You know, and I'll take it, but over nothing. Even though I know you don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, I prayed for my dog today because you know what? When you run out of funds, I'm not rich enough to take them to the vet or go to the hospital and stuff. When you slide down the economic ladder from whatever's going on. And like we said, this has been going on way longer than the 80s. It's not just, it's from the day one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, 19.
Day one of time.
Yeah, no, I know. You're absolutely right.
Day one of time of power and corruption in every country, all over the place. And we are in a decline. That's it. We're going down.
So are our insurance companies regulated or no?
Pretty much no. I mean, they're pretty much. I mean, the Affordable Care Act did put some legislation as far as predatory plans.
Right.
They started and the pre-existing conditions thing.
Right.
And
they want to take preconditions away.
They're going to take all of that away. They're going to take all of that away. I mean, they're going to allow the predatory plans. That's why when the insurance companies are like, well, we can't offer more affordable plans. No, you can't offer these fluff bullshit plans that were basically horrific disaster plans because Obama put some legislation saying you couldn't do that, which was a good thing.
That was a good thing.
And that's why it was a baby step in a better. It was definitely compared to what we had. It's a step in a better direction.
And it's a bridge, isn't it, Ron? It's a bridge.
It should
to
be that.
Something. It's yes.
But what they're trying to make it is they're trying to make it a bridge to going even further backwards. That's what the Republicans are doing.
That's
what Paul Ryan wants to do.
That's who they are.
They hate insurance. They hate insurance. They've made it very clear. When Paul Ryan talks about...
No, they hate insurance for us. They want insurance for them. They don't want insurance for us. And that's why they don't want the one-tier thing or anything that... They want to keep their $5 or $500 or $5 billion in their pocket for themselves and don't want to pay their own taxes, even the loopholes, right?
Mm. Like, well, we cut down all the damn lobbyists, too, that's sitting up in Washington.
But that's corporate, right? There you go,
Right. You're right. They want health care for them. Absolutely. But when you hear Paul Ryan talk about
everything for them, Ron.
Oh, yeah.
They want everything for them and nothing for the people. That's the point.
Absolutely.
So there's our bridge.
And when you hear Paul Ryan talk about health care, or health insurance, he just makes it very obvious that he hates the idea of it. Like, you hear him talk about it, and he's like, here's the problem. Everybody pays something, and then sick people, well, they use it more. And like, yeah, that's the point of insurance. You fucking, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And
that's the point of insurance, asshole.
Wait a minute. His family, his mother was able to raise them on a public plan, which was Social Security.
Because they're greedy as fuck.
This
But
guy,
it was okay when he did it, though, Tymon. It was okay
That's right.
when he did it.
It was like okay when Chris Christie got on the beach, but nobody else got on the beach. You know what I mean? That's what they love it. They want, because you know why? They want public beaches private. They want insurance. They want everything, education private. They want to keep the money, but then get the money on the other side of somebody's ass.
It's okay when Marco Rubio wants Medicare for his mom. But if you want it for your mom, well, that's an entitlement.
Fuck your
that's
mom,
not
right?
the government's job. It's they hate insurance. It's an anti-healthcare bill. It's a tax cut bill.
Is this part
but
of
the reason
the
we're where we're at?
Privilege. This is the
right.
argument is Medicare or this having medical insurance is a privilege? Is that what this?
That's the argument they make, and they say it's not the government's job. When Paul Ryan was straight up asked, is healthcare a right in the richest country in the world?
I know.
Is that a right in the richest country
It
in the
should
world?
be.
And his response, well, of course it should be. His response, well, that's not the government's job, though. Then what is the fucking point of having a country?
Right.
What is the fucking point?
Yeah, isn't that civilization? Like you be civil to your. I go, you be civil. You should be civil. Like we should be civil with each other. Like I want, we should be taking care of each other. That's why I'm a communist now and a socialist.
You know, one of the things Tymon and I were talking
Join
about
the club.
before the show was, I don't know if you guys saw this story. Of course, it happened in Florida. But 5 teenagers watched a guy drown and recorded it on their phones and laughed about it.
Sick.
And
he was handicapped too.
They didn't even yell thoughts and prayers?
Nope. Nope. One of them
wow.
called him a fucking junkie and said that he deserved to drown.
And that's
what
Trump's
was
America.
he doing in that
Lack
video?
of compassion.
Exactly.
Lack of compassion.
Exactly. It's the fact that, people always say, when you see a racist little kid, well, they weren't born that way. They learned it from somewhere. And this indifference and it, it's a narcissism to a point that whatever it is that kept these kids from not even jumping into the pond themselves to save the guy, calling fucking 911, doing anything. The fact that they didn't do it, they had to learn that somewhere.
Right.
They learned it from the GOP, who watches poor people go down the drain, watches people go to war for something, for them to get money.
No,
That's what
they
happens.
don't watch people go to war. They send people to war.
They send people, and then they watch them and say bye-bye.
It's even
and then when they
worse.
get home, they have nothing. And they have PTSD, and they get all fucked up, and their whole lives get ruined.
But they'll wheel them out every once in a while when they need them to make a point about how great they are for veterans.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it recruit all new whole new people who want to go to college really but can't afford it.
So, what I see, too, is that, and that's the one big other symptom of quote-unquote Trump's America. There's a lot of cowardly people that have been empowered. Racists.
Yes.
Misogynists.
Yes.
And they have been violent. After Trump won, and that's why, even though I am a huge progressive, and if you ask me what is your problem with the corporate Democrats and with Hillary Clinton, I could talk your ear off for 2.5 hours. However, I also do recognize that on November 9th, there were people throughout the country that, yes, aren't white people like me, that were scared to leave their apartments, and reasonably so. Because there were people out in the street causing shit. There were people that were grabbing women saying, it's our America now. There were people threatening Latinos saying, you're going to go home and stuff like that. And that, first of all, it embarrasses me that I'm part of a group by birth, that I'm part of a group that does shit like that. And it certainly does not speak for everybody. Right. But that's humiliating, and that's terrible. And that's what this cowardly figurehead empowered. And that's why not recognizing the symptom of a much bigger disease, it's not going to end with Trump. We are going to get more Trumps, and they're going to be worse. And this is the
wait. Are you saying
Kid Rock is fucking running?
I was
going to
say, are you saying Kid Rock is going to be worse than Trump?
It's going to get worse unless we recognize this is a symptom of a much bigger disease, and we can't tolerate the disease anymore. So no, it's social movements that give us our change. It's not the people that have to sign the paper because we made them sign the paper. We make them fucking sign the paper. And yes, we do have the numbers, and we can't settle for less anymore. Real change happens, and this is from Anatomy of a Revolution, which I forget the author, but I actually think it might have been a lady, Michelle. I don't remember.
I hear, of course, women bring peace.
But
Women want
Anatomy
peace.
of a Revolution, real change happens when a status quo reaches a point of crisis, and people can't take it anymore. If what we're looking at now isn't a point of crisis, I don't know what the fuck is. I'm recognizing it as a point of crisis.
Look at
That's
Venezuela.
why we need a political revolution, and we can't settle for anything
Venezuela's
less.
beating the shit out of everybody. They're going after.
I don't know. I might go there pretty soon. I have family there, so we'll see.
No,
yeah, why not? I got
no.
family in Ecuador and
Okay,
Venezuela.
well, they're battling
so I'm gonna
right
go
now.
check it out. Yeah.
Read the papers. They're
Yeah, but
going
that's again, like, who knows
They're
unless
going
you're
after
really
the
there.
government,
That's
though.
just like yeah. Okay.
They're going after the government.
We have problems with It's all like
My meter's about to expire.
It's all about the meter because the poor people that they put meters in here, right? Keep poor people out. You know that. Come on.
Absolutely, yeah. No,
it is.
Makes the sidewalk bumpy, and they can't sleep on it because
By
there's
the way,
a parking
Michelle,
meter
that
there.
too, right?
I would be considered poor by a lot of standards.
Oh, I know.
So yes,
for sure.
Poor people can be atheists. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, you can be an atheist.
My economic status has nothing
Hey,
to
you
do
know what, Ron? Some of the
with
best
my lack of belief.
Some of the best Christians I know are atheists.
Me too, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Frightening. Well, I think that seems like a great place to end the show. But there is plenty going on in the world that we didn't get to talk about that I think people should pay attention to, including this, farcical voter fraud commission that met for the first time this week and just started spewing lie after lie after lie. And to a great extent, to go on from what you were just saying, Ron, I think the other big problem is not just the low information voters and just people who are out there, but the soundbite culture. The fact that people, we were talking earlier about no regulation on the insurance companies, and maybe that is what we need to keep premiums down, but people on the right are so brainwashed, no regulation bad. It's like a Frankenstein response that some regulations are good. Some regulations are necessary.
Because they're not regulations, they're protections.
They are protections.
That's what they really are. We don't call them that, though. We call them regulations. And, as far as the healthcare thing, the insurance industry, the insurance companies don't need to be regulated or protected. They need to be kicked the fuck out of town.
Get out.
We need Medicare for all. Well, we need a baby step first, Ron. What do you think the Affordable Care Act was?
That was
it's
a baby step.
time.
That's the way,
We can't settle for any.
Get
No
moving.
more pittering bullshit. It's time for Medicare for all, single payer. It works in pretty much every other industrialized nation in the world. And by the way, guys, voter fraud is pretty much make-believe. You want to get onto some fraud thing, you look at voter suppression. That's not voter fraud. That's election fraud.
Absolutely.
We have election fraud every time an election fucking happens.
Yes, we do.
Voter fraud, I think it happened maybe 9 times in the past 20 or 30 years. It's bullshit, and it's a scapegoat that someone lazy and intellectually inferior like a Donald Trump is going to try to peddle because all of his other peddling bullshit has failed so far.
I love how your voice goes.
At Ron Placone on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. At Ron Placone.
I love that little growl that comes out.
At Ron Placone.
Yeah.
There you go, Ron. All right, so at Ron Placone on Twitter.
At Ron Placone
anything
on
else
Twitter.
you'd like to plug?
Let's see. I got some shows. I'll be at Flappers on August 16th for as part of the Burbank Comedy Festival. We're doing a live Jimmy Dore show August 16th at 5 p.m. It's an early show.
Ooh, I have to go.
But
to that.
yeah, you can totally come and we can talk about our manifestos together.
Beautiful.
I'm
almost done with mine.
Excellent. And we'll all be in a shed in the woods at some point. Michelle,
bring the
thank
weed
you very
for
much
you.
for coming in. I appreciate that. I think today demonstrated that I need it more often than most. Anything you'd like to plug, Michelle?
Thank you, sir. I do have a show at the Nerdist on the 28th HD. It's gonna be
Headscarves and
fantastic.
Do-Rags show.
Yes, it's going to be a
I
special
love that
Latino show. Actually, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
That's
Excellent.
Roger's show, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Roger Michael's
I
show.
love that
Yes,
show.
That's right.
And also, as always, thank you for being with us today, Mr. Tymon Shipp. Tymon, you got anything?
I'm
you'd
going
like
to
plug?
be doing a black and white soiree show.
Ooh, that sounds sexy.
Yeah, well, these people will be singing the Dales as well as the Marvelettes and type
Wow.
stuff like that. There are two groups, male group and female group, and they're going to have dinner.
So
And
you're doing music?
Well, they're doing music. I'm the MC.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm
I thought you were. I was
MC
like,
for
I
the-
didn't know.
And where and when is that?
This is August 5th, and it's going to be at the old Regency West, where they used to do the Comedy Act Theater, where Robin Harris used to perform at.
Oh,
it's gonna
right
be at that
on.
theater, right 43rd and right off 43rd and Crenshaw.
Excellent. So that is happening. I am Dr. David Robinson. You can follow me on the Twitter at StandUpFallDown, and right here every Saturday with Let's Be Treasonable. I want to thank our panel, and I want to thank you, the listener.